Hey everybody, welcome back. Great to have you here. As always, we're going to get into my favorite way to start the week, which is our Mindset and Motivation Monday show. Today I'm going to go through 10 ways that you can pull yourself out of a slump. We've all been there. Sometimes it's with a relationship, sometimes it's with work, sometimes with our personal health or body transformation, going to the gym, whatever it might be. And the truth is that you're not alone. And if it doesn't happen to you, that would be the strange thing. I know that even with work, as much as you might love your job, sometimes you just have a down week. Something happens and it just pushes you into the slump like, oh, I don't know if this is the right place for me, the right spot for me, the right job for me, the right career, whatever it is. And it just turns you a little bit sour. And what happens is your actions start to reflect that and you get more of those lows. So once you recognize this, it's actually important that you take a step back. So the very first step, I'm going to give you 10 steps today, but the very first step is actually acknowledging, hey, I'm in a slump. Like something's strange here. I'm not usually like this. What's going on? Is it me? Is it the job? Is it the relationship? Like, what is it? What's going on? And then reflect on how did you get here? And oftentimes it's a relationship, it's an argument, or with a gym, a wedding or birthday, something came up and you just kind of missed for, maybe Thursday, Friday, and then you didn't go over the weekend. And now it's been, a half a week and, you're not in it. You don't have the same motivation. Maybe for job, it was, a deadline you didn't expect, a task, something came up, you were asked to do more, you're working on a project you don't really like. It's just, things pop up. So the first step is, hey, what caused this, right? And does this typically happen? Or is this a little bit of a, off chance possibility? And if it's off chance, well, good, it was a one-time event, or it only happens every once in a while. It's not a true reflection of who you are, your job, your relationship, anything like that. Things happen. Life's not static, right? That's the thing, is that we live in the ebbs and flows of life. And that's a big part of what I always try to remember, is that when I'm in it, I don't know if I'm in the ebb, I'm in the flow, right? I'm in the dip. That's what I look at. I'm in the dip. I need to pull myself out. But I never try to do it typically that day. So all I do when I'm in that slump, right, is I say, all right, today was a bad day. I've talked about this before in the show. I literally say that to myself. Well, today was a bad day. I don't sugarcoat it. I acknowledge it. Wasn't a good one. Here's what I'm going to do. Go to bed early. The number one thing that you can do is take it off your mind. Go to bed early, because a great night's sleep cures many ills. That's the truth. So get a great night's sleep. Then you can think about it the next day. I don't try to solve all the world's troubles the day the issues are occurring, that's for sure. All right, what's step number 2? Set small and achievable goals next. If you are just in it right now with your job or your health or whatever it is, what can you work on that's small and achievable today? Can you prep your meals that morning? You could do that. You could probably plan ahead, right? Get a meal delivery, food shop after work, whatever it is, but prep your meals for the next day. Set the time when you're going to get to the gym, go for your walk, do all of those things. Set small, attainable goals for the next day or two. Just get a couple small wins. I'll talk about that in a moment. All right, number 3 is this: change your environment. When something big has happened, you might just need a day off. You might need to go, I always like to say, go into the woods, right? Nature cures a lot. It really does. If I've ever had a stressful day, a hard day, I go into some of my favorite trails and I go for a run. And if you're not much into running, go for a walk. There are so many trails most likely around you. Just go to Trail Finder. You can just go to Google it, and you'll be able to find it. All Trails, I believe, is another one. Find all sorts of trails in your local area. Enjoy, get outside, play with your dog. Change your environment, though. Just get away from where you typically have that problem. Reset. Because when you go outside into nature, or you do change your environment, you have a different perspective. So life is sometimes just about having different perspective. No doubt about that. All right, the fourth one is this. This is one that I love. Let's say I'm having challenges in my own life. I am feeling like I'm overwhelmed, I'm irritable, I have so much to do, nobody understands. It's all the things that we always say to ourselves, right? Okay, you're having one of those days. One of the best things that you can do is actually connect with others. Realize that, well, they've got their own stuff going on. There are a lot of good people in the world, though. They're amazing. And one thing I found is this: give compliments. I know it sounds really strange. Compliment someone just at a coffee shop or an employee, coworker, etc. see the reaction on their face. People love to get compliments. They love to be told that their hair looks nice, dress looks nice, they did a great job at their job. It was really nice talking with them. Really great idea, anything like that. And you see the reaction. They feel good, but guess what? You feel good as well. And it just snaps you out of the poor mood, the poor feeling, the poor me. It's a great thing to do. Try it. I'm telling you right now, try it and let me know in the comments how that works for you as well, not just for them. All right, the fifth one is this. Take a self-care day. Take a self-care evening. You know, when I have one of those bad days, I actually just typically go to bed. Like I don't do too much. It doesn't happen often. Like it doesn't even happen once a month, but let's say it does happen one day per month. I literally tell my wife, I said, yeah, today was a bad one. A lot going on. We can talk about it. We don't really need to talk about it. I just need to hit the hay early, wake up, tomorrow's a new day. And I always say that tomorrow's a new day. And that's what I do. But for many people, take a relaxing bath. That's the thing. It's like you just put those Epsom salts in, dim the lights, light a candle, listen to a favorite podcast or music, unwind, relax. You deserve it. You deserve to take a break every once in a while. You really do. Okay? All right. The next one, number 6, is focusing on the present. It is difficult. And this goes back to last Monday. So I just want to make sure that you did tune into last Monday's show, which was episode 3090. Because sometimes we get so in our head and we get into the what ifs and the worried about the future. Is this going to be my entire life? Or we hearken back to the past of previous poor experiences. Once you do that, you're no longer in the present moment. Pull yourself back to the present. I have tips on that on episode 3090 as well. But make sure you bring yourself back to the present. Breath work is a great way to do that. Gratitude is a great way to do it. Perspective is a great way to do it. All of those are very, very helpful. All right, the 7th one is one of my favorite. You need to get away from negative influencers when you're in your own slump. Family members, friends, certain coworkers, whoever it might be. Some people you can avoid, some people you can't, right? And so if you can't avoid them, you limit your interaction as much as possible. And when you go into an interaction with them, center yourself, do some breath work, know what most likely they're going to bring to you, and kind of put up your force field. Because if you continue to hang around negativity and put more negativity in your head, like from the news and the media and all these different things, you're going to see more negative in your life. And that's going to affect you. There's almost no way it can't, because you get into a more of a hyper-vigilant state. If everybody's always bringing you their problems and all the negatives around the world, you see more negative. Your brain becomes more hyper-aware of all the bad things that could happen. Not a great place to live. Number 8 is this: rediscover a passion or some of your passions or a hobby. So you are working on your health. You're working on your relationships. You're working in your job. You're working on your spirituality. Take a little time away from that. Just the great saying. I love the saying that if you work with your mind, play with your hands. And the reason why I keep bringing that up is that many of us are in jobs as parents or people that work behind the computer, and we are in our head. Like that's what we are. We're not doing manual labor. So oftentimes what we need to do is garden, hike, like do anything that's more physical, right? Working out, that's why it's a great thing to do. Just play with your hands, get out there. Or do art, craft, sculpture, singing, dancing, something physical. It will change your state. Doing something physical. So this is a great quote as well, is that if you're dealing with psychological-based issues and imbalances, work on your physiology. It's the truth. And oftentimes, if you're dealing with physiological issues with your body, work on your mind. The two are interconnected scientifically through the vagus nerve, but mentally and emotionally as well. All right. Number 9, we've got 2 more. Number 9's a big one. Get back into a structured routine. So much the anxiety, the worry, the chaos, the what ifs, and the low mood are because we don't know whether we're coming or going, right? We don't have a routine. When you wake up, what's your morning routine? What's your breakfast? When do you head to work? When do you drop off the kids? When's your workout time? And a lot of people don't like to plan their day. But when you don't plan your day, you're just always running behind. if you're not living by your calendar and your schedule, and again, you don't have to do this all the time, but Monday through Friday, is that you're going to miss out on a lot of the things that you want to do. And then you're always going to feel like, oh, I don't have enough week to accomplish all the things that I want to do with my life. Well, we need to get back and actually create a routine, create a schedule to make that happen. I have another podcast. You can just type it in at stephencabral.com/podcast. And it says, throw away your to-do list and do this instead. Check out that show. It was a game changer for me in my own life, many of my clients as well. The last one is this. As you're creating this schedule, you're limiting your negative influences and you're practicing your self-care, you're setting small achievable goals, celebrate the small wins. Don't wait until you lose the 30 pounds, the 50 pounds, overcome the autoimmune issue, get your career promotion, whatever it might be. Celebrate the small wins that lead up to that. Because what happens, just like the negative influence, well, the positives of celebrating all these small milestones reinforces the brain to look for more achievable milestones as well. And all these small milestones, well, they lead up to ultimately the big goals that you're looking to achieve. So when you follow this formula, life just becomes easier. Life is not perfect, life is not easier, but it can be easier. So these are the 10 tips to pull out, right, to use whenever you find yourself in a slump. Hopefully this was helpful. If it was, always do feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.